Hey, what's going on, players one and two of every age? Spider Nerd here again. So, with all my recent videos that I'd like to keep you guys updated with, among them will be Pokemon Go. So, I really hope you guys were enjoying the Christmas and New Year's events that they had. Unlike other games or mobile games, it seems like they're just having you enjoy the aspects and the great adventures involving Pokemon Go so far. I would love to know your comments below, by the way. If you're still playing, if you only play during the events, if you got anything really good, definitely love to know. But right now, I'm in the comfort of my own home, and looks like we have a Meowth, Zubat, and there were a couple other Pokemon here, but I guess I decided to leave. Um, but as of right now, for at least the next 24 to 48 hours, um, you can go ahead and collect all the starter Pokemon. So as of last week, they ended up starting that event. So those of you who weren't really able to get Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur, definitely were given the chance to go ahead and collect. I know a lot of my friends were able to go ahead and work on their first everything fully evolved Pokemon, but unfortunately, where I live, nothing's popping up, and you kind of have to live in heavily populated areas with a higher drop rate, and that's not even that much. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and catch Meowth here? Once again, I am still battling that cold. All right, definitely caught. And I do have enough to go ahead and evolve them, so why don't we go ahead and do that? All right, so we definitely got our Persian, but I'm going to go ahead and transfer him. I already have high enough Persian in my Pokedex. I'm not one of those guys that try to have a full army and go ahead and or full team of multiple same type Pokemon. But do features here. Those of you who either haven't been playing, just started playing, or haven't played in at least a couple months, the biggest issue with Pokemon Go was the navigation system. So this kind of resembles a little bit of what the navigation system was like during patch 1 or 2. Um, and I don't understand it. I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know why they decided to fix what was never really broken. I was perfectly fine just kind of figuring out which way the Pokemon were and knowing how many paw steps to take. But this is just as good. So let's, for example, go ahead and hop over to Charmander. Charmander is kind of one of my favorite starter Pokemon because I'm always going to be a fire type. I just love it. I don't know why, but whatever. Um, so this is a mural where I live. So you want to go ahead and find out where that is. You go ahead and select the pause here, and it basically just popped up, zoomed out, and on the bottom left corner of my screen, it actually showed me where it was. Now I think there's a limitation on distance, so it probably couldn't zoom too far out. So if you want to go ahead and take a couple seconds and kind of see what I'm talking about, go ahead and backtrack a little bit on this video. But as you can see here, hop right back in the navigation. You see on the bottom left of the screen here that Charmander is selected. So if I wanted to at 7 o'clock in the morning, I could go ahead, get my butt up, walk over to where that location is, and grab him right away. And of course, if you change your mind and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do that today, it's too cold or I'm too tired, go ahead and deselect them, and then there you go. But of course, Zubat and Nidoran are there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be one of those guys that keep going after the same type Pokemon. I have a friend who has a Pokemon Go attachment and plus attachment, excuse me, Pokemon Go plus attachment. He loves the thing. It's a very cool aspect. But one thing he says that he blows through Pokeballs ridiculously fast. Now, me, I don't mind going ahead like once in a while. Okay, I'm not going outside, or there's nowhere I am that will have a Pokestop, so I'll go ahead and spend a couple bucks. And it's actually really inexpensive to go ahead and get the Pokecoins. That's actually one plus that I enjoy. Excuse me. So, for 99 cents, you can get 100 Poke Coins, which honestly, just enough if you need to get yourself 20 quick Pokeballs. It's only a dollar. That's actually perfect. And of course, you can go ahead and get incense if you wanted to, lucky eggs. And for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, Poke eggs are really good for, or lucky eggs, excuse me, are really good for experience. And I just hit 26, and unfortunately, the higher in level you are, the it's going to take you forever unless you're in a city area. Like I'm here in Massachusetts, so if you're near Boston or like Springfield area, you're definitely going to be hitting those Pokestops and getting Pokemon ridiculously fast and be able to level up a lot faster. Thankfully, Lucky Eggs do that. But unfortunately, you can only get Lucky Eggs and Incense um, either through Pokecoins by battling at gyms and owning that gym for at least 8 to 24 hours, I think. I think it's 8 hours, which is a little high to me, but whatever. Or you could go ahead and do what I do or did and spend a little cash and get a couple of lucky eggs just to kind of help you go through. But if you're just here playing the game to enjoy the game because it's Pokemon and it's just a great way to get exercise without actually going to the gym and enjoying the great outdoors, great on you. So there's not too much of an improvement that they've done. So let's just go ahead and view my Pokedex here. I'll kind of show you guys what I've collected so far. I'm really close to getting the Venusaur, which is the full evolution of Bulbasaur. Um, and I'm also able to get a Charmander for the first time. I ended up getting Charmeleon at a local supermarket, which was actually very cool. Um, but this is what I've caught so far. I'll be walking with my Bulbasaur Pokebuddy for a little bit longer, just so that way you can get a couple eggs ahead, um, instead of just sitting on zero after getting Venusaur. But you got Sandshrew there, and then number 28 will be Sand Slash, and I'll be walking him. Because when I was younger, I don't know why, but Cubone and Sandshrew were like one of my favorite Pokemon. And then of course you got Ekans, which evolves into Arbok, and I'll be walking him as well. And of course, I got Pikachu and Raichu already. Um, oh, another thing that they're doing here with the events, and I'll see if I can scroll all the way down. I'm going to try to go really slow so that way you guys can kind of see what I have. Um, so at the very bottom here, you see a lot of these cute, adorable baby Pokemon. Um, those of you who are just tuning in, pretty sure that all of you are very familiar with Pokemon and these second or third generation Pokemon, uh, um, or pre-evolutions of the original types. So with this new event, um, actually, I don't even think it's an event. Any of you who are data mining or anything like that, definitely let me know in the comments below. Um, excuse me. So with 2K, 5K, and 10K eggs, they're gonna have starter starter pre-evolution Pokemon. So right now I have Pika or Pichu. Wow, really? Pichu, and I've caught. I didn't even catch two of them. I hatched both of them. But I'm gonna keep them in my Pokedex. I'm not even gonna bother evolving them, just because of the fact that I think it would be really cool, just to have those available. So as we all know, Pichu evolves into Pikachu, and then evolves into Raichu. The other one um, is Igglybuff, and Igglybuff is the pre-evolved form of Jigglypuff, which goes into Wigglytuff. Which, unfortunately, prior to this game, I didn't even realize that Jigglypuff had an evolved form. And why he looks like a rabbit, I have no idea. But then there's, I believe that's Cluffy or Cliffy. See, I've seen him, so there we go. Cleffa. I believe, I don't know how I saw him. I don't know whether it was couldn't have been a hatch. I don't know whether it was because of the fact that um, one of my friends had it, and like I don't know how I saw him. So not a big deal. But I believe he's going to be either from a 5 or a 10K, and then there's the pre-evolved form of Magmar, which would be like Magpie or something like that. So I'm actually going to be pretty excited to get him. So just once again, scroll through, kind of show you what I've got. Uh, that's a horrible mess. Those of you who either are viewing this on a tablet or a computer, or tablet with a decent sized screen, kind of see what I'm talking about. There's a Nidoran and a um, Parasect, excuse me, just on top of each other, so it looks really, really creepy. Um, but new graphics as always, so I've been working really hard with collecting different elemental types. So there's the dragon type Pokemon. I've only caught one, I think. No, I've caught 10 of them. But of course, as always, I'm Team Valor. And of course, you can always change your Poke Buddy. I don't plan to until the starter event ends, but I'll be focusing on Pokemon that I haven't gotten yet. And of course, all the Pokemon in my roster right now. All the eggs I'm working on, 2K, um, two 5Ks, and one 10K, and a partridge in a pear tree to keep it festive, because right here it's wintertime. But other than that, that is exactly what I've been working on lately. Let's go ahead and, of course. Oh, while we're cooking Paris, one thing I want to bring to everyone's attention. I don't know whether it's got to be happening to everybody because it's an obvious error. But ever since I got the update, I have an LG V10, which is one of the latest LG models. The V20 just got released, so I hope to be getting that later at some point in the next year or so. But I'm really impressed with the V10, so there's probably no big rush. But excuse me. Um, I don't know why I did that. I knew he was attacking too. Um, is the ever since the update, the recent update for Pokemon Go, every once in a while, if I'm in a new location and I clear my history, or the game will start itself up again, not on its own, but when I select it, let's say I have it open in my history aspect, like this is what I mean. Your previous history. if I select Pokemon Go, um, it usually once or twice it'll restart itself, which is fine. And unfortunately, though, when you're in a new location, it completely freezes at the very beginning of the game, and you're either left with a blank page or a blank navigation with a frozen screen. Now, usually, if you wait 30 seconds, depending on your phone model, it'll go ahead and just kick itself right back in. But unfortunately, for my phone, and it seems like hundreds of others, um, that's not the case. What you would have to do, and I'll walk you through the steps uh, towards the end. So we got Paris, but I'll walk you through the steps. It's really, really weird. So if you guys are running into that hiccup where you're um, getting that frozen screen, all you would pretty much have to do is exit the game, go to settings, go to app or application manager, go all the way down to Pokemon Go. You can either do one of two steps at this point. Force stop, which, depending on what kind of phone you have and how many times you do it, it's going to it might wreak a little bit of havoc on your game. But with storage, you want to go into storage is what I've done. There's a much better outcome. You go to either clear data or clear cache. If you clear data, it clears out everything. You open up the app again, and you have to do the whole setup again. But thankfully, if you've either attached a Google account or you've joined the Pokemon Trainer Club, it'll save it, any aspects, or excuse me, any information that you saved on it or it's saved automatically will be recovered. So it's not like you're starting with no Pokemon and you're starting at level 0 again and have to deal with the whole starter um, aspect of the game. Which, if that ever happens to you, I'm so sorry, but that's something that I'm hoping that Pokemon or the people at the developers are working on, because it's kind of really annoying me. Because if I'm in one location, like if I'm at work or near the mall, which is where like I work close to it, um, it'll be fine. But if I go from the mall to where I live here, which is roughly about a 25-minute drive, all of a sudden the game will be like, no, I actually don't know where you are, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze a little bit, and you're just going to have to take it. Let's hop right back to Pokemon Go. So that would be something that I would want you guys to be all aware of. Um, I don't know why it does it. It's very possible that it has to go deal with certain model phones, um, their their update, like their actual their model update information, and maybe the navigation. I'm not 100% on that one. No, and it's daylight. And there's a Charmander next to a local cemetery, which is actually down the street. But 9 times out of 10, I find Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur right down my street. Right, actually, either down immediately on my street or literally where I'm sitting. And I'm sitting in bed right now. But as of right now, I'll end the video. Hope you guys are having yourself a great day, or if it's uh, um, 7 o'clock in the morning, like it is here. I hope you guys are having a great morning and go back to bed. You don't have to pay attention to me all the time. But have yourself a great day, guys. Bye.